move on that part. That's
Look
so
at that
funny.
do-rag line.
Woo, I'm out of shape.
You still got that do-rag line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't do that.
It's waves in training.
At your age, they ain't waves, they crinkles. Crinkles in case.
Listen, I'm a young man.
I get you.
You know what? I gotta go ahead. I don't know why they do that. When I go live on Facebook, what they do now is they put me.
Is this man on the floor?
Yeah, my back.
Hold on, I'm gonna text George Jefferson afterwards.
Oh, Lord.
Have him come walk on your back.
What's wrong with your back?
I was in a car accident, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, my back, I got 7 out of 7 nerves in your neck, all 7 of mine are damaged. Out of 5 nerves in the back, all 5 of mine are damaged, and I got a tear.
Oh. Well, I hope you feel better. Fast Lane, what you cooking?
Some wings, garlic parmesan wings.
Garlic Parmesan wings?
Yeah. Something quick and to the point.
So what you do, boil the wings?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm gonna fry them today. I would put them in the air fryer, but maybe I will. That way I can look at y'all.
We parboiled them.
Let me get us started on the radio. We already live on Facebook. What's good? What's good? What's good? Wait a minute now. Let's get the right people. We don't want Fox News.
Why you cooking with gloves on?
I don't want to touch the chicken.
You don't want it to get corona?
Yeah.
I hear. And why you don't want the chicken?
Huh?
Why you don't want to touch the chicken?
Chicken stink.
But you gonna eat it though?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I
I
want
just
no
want to
chicken.
let our audience know that what you're doing.
I want no chicken juice on my hands.
Okay. And you know what? In somewhere in that room, there's a sink.
Yeah.
That you can wash your hands.
I'm gonna wash my gloves.
Okay. Oh, these people on Facebook is looking at us like we are sold off. It's a man on the floor. There's a man in the kitchen cooking some chicken. He gonna eat with gloves on. They don't know.
Damn right.
It's real.
Absolutely. You can introduce us, Miss Darkchild. You can do your thing.
Hey,
We live on everything.
we live on everything.
Live on everything.
Back at it again. It's 6 o'clock. We are here. Open conversation. Back at it. It's your girl, the Philadelphia Princess of Comedy, Miss Darkchild, live from the living room.
Yeah, why you in the office?
I didn't go down there yet. I'm about to go because you know I want to turn my sign on.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going
and then
on?
we got the man on the floor, the one to my right.
Yes, yours truly, Simply D, coming to you live on the floor.
All right.
But I'm here.
And we got my man to my left, the one and only, the super duper. You know who makes it happen? Not the one that make it happen, but it's your boy. So who is it?
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy, and I'm in the kitchen cooking.
Y'all never know what y'all gonna get from us. And then we got the one and only, the super duper producer that makes it all happen. It's your man with the number behind his name.
What's good, everybody? You gotta love them, man. It's like you can't even get mad at y'all. You just never know with these shows, boy. I tell you. What's up, everybody? Say that again.
You're supposed to say Mark 5.
Mark 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's going on, y'all?
2, 3, 4, 5. What's going on, people? It's been a minute. We happy holidays. Hope everybody's safe and secure. Let's go round robin and see how everybody's doing. To the man that's on the floor.
Hey,
what's going on with you?
I'm here. I'm alive in spite of all. I still feel blessed. You know, just got to deal with some issues. You know what I mean? But
what all?
Huh?
When what all? Tell me what's going on with you?
Well, you know, I was in a car accident and you know, got some issues that I'm dealing with, but I'm still around. I'm still about. I'm blessed regardless.
All right, everybody out there, send your prayers to Simply D, who was in a car accident. He's here though, and he's blessed. How you been? Besides that,
other than that, I'm good. You know, just taking it one day at a time, dealing with all this coronavirus mess, and that's it. You know, I'm still able to use my fingers and write, so I'm doing my thing.
All right, working on them books.
You damn right.
All right, and the man that's in the kitchen with the gloves, don't want to touch the.
Listen, I'm doing good. I was doing great, and then I found out my man Simply D got raped, and by the man in the bathroom. So that's why he's on the floor right now, because he's in a lot of pain. And then the guy left him, and didn't even leave him no tip, no nothing. He just left him on the floor. So you know, I'm feeling for my brother right now because, damn, I never thought that would happen.
Dang, he got raped in the bathroom.
They ain't gonna leave that bathroom alone.
It's going on. Mark 5, you sanctioned this?
Hey, I'm just here. Hey, that's all I can say.
Hey, Fastlane, what's been going on with you? It's been a minute.
Oh man, it's been a good minute. You know, Mark getting older. Tone is old. I'm getting younger. Just my hairline going back. You know, it's all good. 2021 got a lot of things to come. But I'm proud to say we are less than 35 to 40 days from Donald Trump, the orange dude, getting out of office.
Yes, we are very happy.
So we got to thank all the people for going out and voting, because all 70 plus million of them that listen to Open Conversation went out and voted for Donald Trump.
But listen, he's 70. Joe Biden is 70. We're going to get into that. But guess what? On the 21st, he's going to be 46.
There it is.
So we don't even care. Mark 5, what's going on with you?
Man, this has been the roughest 2 months ever. I mean, I'm dealing with the C-19 with close people to me. I'm waiting for my results to come back that I took. It's just been crazy. That's all I can say. It's been crazy. My 2 ladies, I'm trying to make sure they good. You know, so it's one of those times where I'm just hoping that I can get well before the 23rd of this month, of course. I don't want to be laying up in no damn bed, you know, celebrating another year. So that's why I've been on the radio, Tuesday, Wednesday in the night to keep me occupied. Sometimes you got to do things when things is rough that you love to do. So, you know,
right.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Birthday sister is up there going through it. That's all I can say with that. So, of course, when people that you love is going through things, you go through it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, people always think that we don't have a soul and we don't have a heart, but we know what's going on out here. This COVID-19 has been tearing up houses, families, homes. People starting to go stir crazy. They need to get out. We got y'all. Tune in to us each and every Thursday. We're going to go to every Thursday, every other Thursday. Don't matter. We're going to be here. Give y'all a little bit of what? What we give them, Simply D?
We give them enlightenment, education, and entertainment.
See, listen, we ain't talked to each other in weeks. Y'all see how we get right back on this radio and be so in tune? That's because we just click like that.
Shit, we've been on the radio damn 6 years. We better click like that. Look.
Yeah, right.
Been together for a long time and been through a lot.
Long time.
Been through a lot of things. Look.
Right. So Comedy was back. It was on. It was off. It was on. It was off. They wanted it outside, inside. I'm still working on my one-woman special. Otherwise than that, I just keep writing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said it was on, it was off. So did you have any bookings or any?
Listen, November, I was booked every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So out of the 4 weekends,
right,
I got 3.
Okay.
I got 3, and only this weekend canceled, but everything else went as planned.
Good.
But since we talking about as planned, let's talk about that fight. Now, we're going to break it down in 2 segments. We're going to talk about the real fight, which was Nate Robinson, and then we're going to talk about the fake fight, which was Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. Now,
can I be
choose
honest?
which one y'all want to go for first, the fake one or the real one? Because that Nate Robinson fight, that nigga still sleep. I ain't never seen a nigga go night like that before. Did you
just
see
want to know
the feet was pointing the same direction that Ed was going.
I just want to know who the hell taught Nate how to fight. Because Nate don't need to get into a goddamn argument the way he was fighting.
How about that?
Listen, he don't never need to talk. Listen, and that boy, the fight that was before him with, what's his name? No, that was him, Jack Paul, right? That's who fought Nate Robinson?
Yeah.
He need to go back to doing some slam dunks.
So apparently Jack Paul is a YouTube star.
Internet station.
Kid's crazy.
Listen, it was all about first.
Merriweather talking about he wants to train Nate Robinson.
He called that Merriweather. Did you hear him call this man Merriweather?
Whatever.
His name was Mayweather.
I don't like him. I don't like him for so whatever. Nate Robinson anyway. Out of the ring. Out of the ring. You don't need to train at all.
All right. Tell me what you thought about the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones exhibition.
You know what? That one I didn't even pay attention to. You know what I mean? I didn't watch it at all. But when I heard all the hype, I went back on YouTube and watched the Nate Robinson. You know what I mean? Just to see what happened and what took place. I didn't even look at the Mike Tyson fight. So I can't even comment.
Well, I can. I thought Mike was going to knock his head off. But he missed. He missed.
But
Roy got a hell of a run game.
Yes, he do.
Game.
He should have been out there with Usain Bolt the way he was running that. He would have beat Bolt to the 100-yard. I said, is Mike going to bite him in the ear? Because Mike looked like he wanted to open a can of whoop ass on him, but it didn't happen.
So were they fighting for real?
No, it was an exhibition. It was a no knockdown rule. It was standing 8 count. It was 2 minutes to a round. It was 8 rounds. It was garbage.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I looked at it on YouTube. And somebody said it looked like 2 of my uncles fighting at a family reunion.
That was Snoop that said that.
That blew my high. I turned it off. I didn't even watch the rest of it because I started thinking about my Uncle Eddie and Yossi. I'm like, damn, that do look like some of my uncles arguing and fighting at the show. Look, so I ain't even watch it after that. I started to watch it, and somebody said that. I was like, yo, I'm not going to watch that. I'm good. And I like. You see the heavy bag right here. Look, see the heavy bag.
Listen, we all love boxing, but that was crazy. They could have saved that bullshit for another day, time, and lifetime. We didn't listen. If y'all gonna come out of retirement to fight. And then you see they set it up for another one. Yeah, if he want to do it, we'll do it again. And man, this about charity. We ain't about this. Listen. Y'all niggas ain't want to fight. Y'all came to get pay-per-view money, to get our money.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I think a lot of people was laughing. What was it on? Turtle, Twiddle, Triddle, or something? What did it play on? What did they?
Wasn't it a pay-per-view event?
It was a pay-per-view.
But what was it on the internet? It was on Triner, Triddle, or something that was on. They was like, yo, who the heck sponsored this joint? Look, it wasn't even like a Facebook. It's somebody like a streaming site, I think, sponsored it.
Yeah.
And I forgot the name of it. So everybody was like, yo, who the hell is that? So I was like,
Well,
damn, okay.
Not
Well,
that
it
we
stole
really
my money.
care, but for our younger audiences, what did y'all think about the verses with Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane?
I think that we come up with some great ideas to try to be positive, and we just find some way, excuse my expression, to fuck it up. Look, that's what I think. I think it was a great idea. I think it would have definitely promoted a lot of positive things that people can get through whatever they go through, especially their circumstances, because they bigger men than me. Ain't no too much of me being in the room with a person that tried to get me killed rapping. I'm just straight up. That I mean, I hate to switch it up. That I said one thing positive, then I just went negative. But it ain't a whole lot of me and you shaking hands when you tried to kill me. You know what I mean?
But I didn't see them shake hands. I just saw him salute.
Right, but then they start talking junk about each other, like to make it more so like a beef to the point that they can take it from
you know that I'm a Yeezy fan. So Young Yeezy won that one, if you ask me. Gucci Mane didn't have shit for him. He ain't had no. So Yeezy won it, but he was very positive. He wanted to talk about his outfit. He said, "But nigga, I own properties. You still Gucci. You still childish in the mind."
Yeah.
This man got a cell phone company he running. He got property he running. But y'all talking about my outfit worth 10 bands.
Yeah. And the thing about it is we all know Jeezy can live that type of life if you know the real history of Jeezy, who he was with and everything like that back in the day. But he matured. He like, man, I did that. You're not taking me back 20. I think he said that. You're not taking me back 20 years. And I changed my life and I own 25% of Atlanta. Like, what can you say to somebody? Like,
right. And they should have just let Monica and Brandy, when they did their verses, just let them bitches fight. I wanted to see the cat fight. Because I'm a Monica fan. Brandy, fuck that.
No, why you don't like, why is that?
Why I choose Monica over Brandy? Because Monica, it was classic. She very classy. She down to earth. I just didn't like any of Brandy's tracks. I was never a Brandy fan though. And Monica,
I'm with you. I'm a Monica fan too. I'm just, for the people that like Brandy, I just want to tell them why. And the same thing you say as far as when it comes to Monica, her tracks and stuff is definitely classic tracks. And not just that, she's ghetto, but she's like a fabulous ghetto type. Like, she's the type of female that you take out. She dressed nice, but when it came to rumble, you best believe she would be rumbling with you.
She was gonna rumble.
She one of those type of females. So what man don't like a female that's like that? Don't nobody want no female that's gonna be like, oh, okay, honey. Oh, you want the female that's gonna run on you because like, oh, I'm not breaking my nails. Go ahead, babe, fight.
And we talked about this the very last show that we were on. We talked about license to carry firearms.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us are licensed to carry. Listen, it is what it is. Why was I so excited when that robber went in there to rob that Wingstop, and the boy that came in talking on his phone to pick up his food, the robber turned to him with a gun and said, "Give me the phone you on," and the nigga shot him in the neck. This is what these dumbass young boys out here get. Right on Cotman Avenue, the robber came in to rob the Wingstop. It was 3 women in the store. A boy walked in who was licensed to carry. He turned to him and pointed his gun at him and said, "You know what this is. Give me your fucking phone." The boy was on the phone and said, "What?" He said, give me your phone with the gun pointed at him. The nigga drew his gun from his back and shot and killed the robber. Shot him in the neck.
Did he pick his phone up and finish his conversation afterwards?
And got his fucking food and went home with a body.
Yo, damn, Rick Ross was making some good food.
He said, can you imagine that conversation at the end of the night? Where did you go? The Wingstop. What did you get? A 20-piece and a body. Because he got a body that night.
One of our viewers on Facebook said, Monica is a Scorpio. That's how we usually are. And bust out laugh and put laugh.
Scorpios are freaks.
Like, I'm always for the underdog, but that right there was some dumb shit. These young boys out here, he met his maker that day.
Yeah.
He went in for a robbery and got killed.
I think because people getting tired. People are getting tired.
Mm-hmm.
And a situation happened, what was it, 2 weeks ago now? Maybe 2 weeks ago at my house where me and wifey sleep and my alarm went off, and I'm wondering why my alarm going off. This lady tried to walk in my house.
What?
3:50 in the morning.
What?
Yeah. Like, she tried to literally open my door, but by the time I got to the door, I didn't, she was going because she must have heard alarms or something. And
she heard that click clap.
No, I ain't get to. You know what? One thing I do say, I thank God that she did leave. I told Sharon, I said, I'm so glad that she heard whatever and left, because that wouldn't have ended up easy. So I thank God for that, because that wouldn't have been a nice situation. Look, and I ain't had no wing stops to walk. I might have went in the kitchen to cook something afterwards, but because I was up. But
that's crazy.
Nah, that was
So what was she just? She was just trying the door, just trying to get in.
Well, from what I hear in the neighborhood, they walk around trying people car doors and trying people house doors. Because afterwards, I seen a car go up the street.
You heard that?
So she must have ran, and they pulled up the street to jump in the car, I guess, after she realized that, the motion sensors and stuff went off.
He lived right up the street. He just said it. He said they ride through the neighborhood, front doors and car doors.
Car doors. So make sure y'all lock y'all doors.
Anywhere. It's a holiday. These niggas out here trying people.
Yeah.
And
now, y'all want to know the real story behind that?
What's the real story?
I'm going to tell you the real story. The girl was looking for Lil Rock. And she said she found him, but he didn't want to open the door. Said Lil Rock owed her something. And it just so happened that she got caught on camera on somebody named Mark Five's camera.
That's funny.
She like, I'm glad she did hear or whatever she didn't left.
Listen, I don't let nobody walk that close to me. When you walking up the street, and you got to tell your sons and your daughters and whoever that if you're walking up the street and somebody is walking towards you, you need to look back.
Yeah.
Because if they're coming to do harm, they're going to see you with your phone, walk past you, jam you from behind.
Yeah.
Stop being naive to, like, if I go outside to open the car door and I see somebody out, I'll let them leave, act like I forgot something in the house, and let them go. I am aware of my surroundings.
Nowadays, yeah, absolutely.
Somebody need to do, to all our listeners out there and all our viewers, somebody needs to do a class, not just self-defense for women, but street smart class, where we teach others how to recognize street signs. And when we say street signs, we don't mean that's Cheltenham Avenue and that's Wadsworth. We talk about street signs as in to does this person look as if? Not to stereotype, but be aware of your surroundings. When you go into your car, look up underneath it. Because that was the one thing they was doing. Remember they was grabbing you from underneath your car?
Mm-hmm.
Stop pulling over at a light. When you at a light, make sure your doors is locked.
Right.
Because people will pull up and jump out of the back seat of another car and carjack your car and go commit a crime. Because that's all they want the car for.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to put that together. Next one of our open conversations. I'm going to talk to a couple of people. I'm going to tell them they can black their screen out.
Well, I got to be honest. Anytime I see black people, I get scared and I run.
What you got in that chicken, man?
I unholster.
Did you unholster it? Yeah.
I unholster.
Yeah. It's a shame that you got to live that way, so uncomfortable, but, you know. So how y'all feel about our vice president to be? First black African-American or whatever you want to call her in the White House, vice president.
It's about to be some sex parties going on up in there.
You know what?
I
don't know what's in the chicken, Dark. I don't know.
Simply D, come back over here with them shorts on.
No, they got blood stains in them.
What's in the chicken?
I don't know. I don't know if he must be allergic to latex or something, and them gloves messing with him or something. I don't know what's going on with that.
Let your audience see your chicken, Simply D.
What chicken?
No, that's Fastlane got the chicken.
Fastlane, let me see the chicken.
It's still frying. Let me see. Let me see if I can turn this thing around. Let me hold again.
What time? So tonight's show for our listeners that's listening on the radio that can't see the chicken. Tonight we're going to talk about money. We got CPA Miss Kimberly Johnson on that'll be coming on the show. We're going to talk about the stimulus checks. We're going to talk about taxes. We're going to talk about how important it is to keep track of certain receipts and all that good stuff. We just going to have a conversation because we kept talking. And she was like, well, what you want to do? Like, you know, a lot of people, let me say something to my co-host. A lot of people, when I bring them on this show, they always ask me, well, what's the layout? I'm like, yo, we don't do layout. We don't do all that layout. Let's write this down and stuff. We have a conversation. That's why it's called open conversation. And because it's four of us, how can you do a layout with four of us? Because we all have different opinions and different questions and different things that we bring to the table. So if it seemed like we raw, yes, we're raw and we're real and ain't no gray area with us. Because you get some shows that, you know, hey, today, Kim, how are you? So what's going on with your life? We don't do that. Look, as you see, you have a man cooking chicken. You got my man sitting on the floor relaxing. You got Miss Dark Child laid back on the couch. It's just we who we are. We regular people, you know, and that's the one thing, and that's our audience, regular people. We don't care if you have a, you know, people try to, you know how you post something on Facebook and they're always trying to correct your English and all that. Yo, I have my high school diploma and everything like that. I don't need for English teachers to jump on my post and correct my language and how I speak. That irritates the hell out of me. If I'm not sitting at a job interview and then I have to turn into that person to be able to, you know, be that person that I need to be, leave me the hell alone. Because I make my language up all the time. Simply D make his language up all the time.
Oh, Lord, yes, indeed.
Look at Miss Dark Child. I knew she was going to jump on that.
Simply D make words up all the time.
This is real.
Mayflower.
This is real raw radio, okay? Which is why people try to jump on and duplicate what the hell we do.
That's right.
Boom.
And that's coming from Mr. Sadior himself. That's Sadior himself. Sadior.
So we're going to introduce, since you popped on there, we're going to introduce you now anyway and bring you into the conversation. So Miss Kimberly Johnson, welcome to Open Conversation. How are you?
Hey, Miss Kim.
Hello, everybody.
What's up?
Miss Kim.
Yes.
We like to throw this stuff at you. Now, I just was on the news not 2 seconds before you we got on the radio, and I see that they said 11,000 Pennsylvania residents were not eligible for the PUA. They
Kim
get
and, look,
money back.
Kim in New York, she like, oh, that sounds bad for y'all.
Yeah.
Cause she in New York.
So let me know. That wasn't about a Philadelphia thing. That's why I said the Pennsylvania. So let me ask you, and I'm not asking for a definitive answer, but this will benefit a lot of our audience. How did you think, and I kind of know, they realized that you weren't eligible for that PUA money so fast?
First, break down what PUA is so people will know.
Yeah, because it differs for every single state. So
what is your state?
New York and New Jersey.
Right. So it's really the Pandemic Assistance Fund is what it is. If you weren't eligible to work, unemployment, and you said, listen, I was a private contractor, I lost work due to COVID, due to the regulations. They were able to collect a certain amount of money because they claimed that they weren't able to work.
Correct. Yes. And the way that all pretty much works is paperwork. As long as you're able to prove and even show like past like funds that you received and that you're not receiving that anymore, that was it.
Well, however, they said that a lot of these people did it fraudulently.
Yes, absolutely. And they're catching up now.
Yep, they are catching up. So everybody thought it was going to be, oh, wait till I go file my taxes. I got a whole year to come back up with it. Nope. They got you in months.
And that's pretty much like, I kind of would like to specify, like, get everything in by December 31st. Because after December 31st, it's going to be it. Because you have a new registration coming in, new president, new whole new registration coming in. So believe you me, and with the Senate and House of Representatives, all those switching, yeah, they're going to be on top of it.
So do you think we're going to get another stimulus check?
I believe they will. It's still in talks, but can't definitely say.
Yeah, I know you don't know because I'm just
wondering. I think they may go for it, but it's all going to depend upon what the next few months look like.
And what you anticipate financially it's going to look like?
That they may actually do another round. However, it's going to be tighter as far as the information that has to be given. They're going to be looking for a lot more than just like giving out the money how they did before.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be something. All y'all people that got
so now all these people that filed and got this money, would you say that they're going after them now?
Yeah, they're checking in. Yeah, okay. Because it's more or less on the state level that it's coming from. Because the states are saying, well, we don't have any money, and the Fed is not giving them money. So the state.
So all you people out there that was fanning the dollars and thinking that you got over, you can't run because they coming for you. Ha ha.
And when you go work another job, it's gonna show up on your check. Her name is gonna be Garnisha. Yeah, she
gonna be right under child support.
Right up under that word child support.
That CS. Look.
Because I mean, there was actually cases of where people who had like passed away, they were issuing stimulus checks to them. Wow. And they were being cashed. So Yeah, they're coming, and they're realizing all this stuff now. They're catching up very quickly.
Wow. Crazy. See, people think it's free money and always looking for a get over, and eventually you get caught.
Tell him he ain't ducking far enough down. Tell him.
He didn't want to go to work because, and it was true, they made more money sitting home collecting unemployment than they did
going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, but you didn't only have the unemployment, you had the disability and the stimulus on top of that.
Right.
Yeah. It was just like, oh, okay, free money all around. But
yeah, these listen, people done went and got apartments and cars and 65-inch flat screen TVs and all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
Absolutely. And that's why I even said, it's like, to find out that they were issuing checks to people who were even, who were dead. You got family members cashing the checks.
You get a stimulus check, but you go get a car note. That's like one of the dumbest things. Okay, you get a car note. That's the down payment, but you don't have no job to pay the note. So I guess it was this for the summer. I'm gonna rock this car for the summer. Pay
basically.
People do stupid stuff but the come up was the Walmarts and the places like that made out because they were getting mobbed. People were in there buying up everything. You know what I mean? Because they had this cash. They're gonna catch up with you.
Yeah. Oh no. Absolutely. And that's why a lot of people, even some clients, they told me oh, I got a letter and this and so forth. What am I supposed to do? What did you do? What? I can't answer that for you.
What you mean they asked you what was they supposed to do? Get their cash back.
Yeah.
You muted, Fastlane. Yeah,
wow.
We can't hear you.
So they didn't know what they was gonna do. They was busy looting, and all those people that was looting just tore up. They figure out a reason to just tear up, and then they wonder why we keep having to be in the house. Ain't nothing open.
Yeah.
They ain't get locked up for looting, but they damn sure gonna get locked up for stealing that money.
Ain't that something? Because now you're messing with the big boys. Look, and they can track where you come from. And even if you cash somebody that passed away check, trust me, they're going to track it.
Oh, no, they've already started. They've already been, pretty much sending out them letters. Yeah.
Yep. So just for the people that's been tuning in, Miss Kimberly, can you please reintroduce yourself?
Kimberly Johnson, CPA, have been New York and New Jersey. Pretty much handle personal finances, small businesses, and pretty much all in all, try to keep money in people's pockets.
So if I needed today to ask you, tell me 5 ways I can keep money in my pocket, could you rattle them off?
Yeah. Number 1, make sure all deadlines are met. That's the first and foremost.
What deadlines?
Tax deadlines. So, for instance, with the stimulus checks and everything, if you haven't even filed your tax return, within IRS tax returns, if you have a refund coming to you, you have up to 3 years to claim it. Don't wait for that time period because the stimulus check is right now in play. So if you're not filing by December 31st, what they're going to do is actually pick it up next. And they'll put it up against whatever income you make next year.
Oh, so they're not even going to wait for you now. They just going to basically say
December 31st, and that's it.
Wow.
And if you don't file anything by December 31st, tax return wise, they're going to just put it up against and take it, pretty much you have to claim a credit for that stimulus amount that you were going to receive against the income that you would have gotten
You know what's crazy though? There go with that tracking. That tracking, boy, I tell you. Certain things that did you get that, Miss Darkchild, what she just said? So everybody that basically gave their information up to get that stimulus check, they have information now to go by.
Right. They got your bank account. They got social security number. They got everything. They got your current address. They got your employer. They got everything to get back to you.
Yes, absolutely. But the whole thing is like if you haven't filed a tax return by December 21st of this year, so being your 2019 tax return, when you go to file for 2020, they're going to say, oh, we're not going to give you the stimulus check. You just have to file it along with your return. And we'll give you a credit up against whatever you make.
Wow. Interesting.
So like if you come up in, let's say you came up in 2020 and making money and somehow creating more income, they're just going to credit if you haven't filed your 2019 tax return. They're not going to give you a stimulus check. They're going to say, put it on your 2020 tax return.
Right. So you just asked out.
Right.
Yeah.
So what else? What else is another good hint? Meet all deadlines.
Meet all deadlines. Second is take a look at your last wage and tax pay stub. See where you stand at. There are so many different avenues to look at what you can expect to whether owe or the refund that you're going to get. And
so
you can
let me ask you, is it good? Is it better to not claim and then at the end claim it all, or what?
It's better to always claim and always file. However, a refund is not the best. It's not always great.
Okay. What's the
Well, a tax refund is basically the government saying that we took too much money from you, and here's what we took too much from you. Period.
Okay, let me ask you a question on that note. Isn't there, somebody said to me that the law, it's not, you don't have to do a 10W-40. It's not lawful.
Depends upon the amount that you're making. It doesn't, you're not required, but it depends upon the amount.
Okay.
That you make. If you make a certain amount in a year, you have to file a 1040. You have to file a tax return.
Okay. What's the fourth one?
A fourth one would be reiteration of this, the third one I was just talking about, as far as just start paying more attention to what's being withheld in your paycheck. Pay attention, look at it. And even just doing a tracking of maybe 3 to 6 months, you can see where, okay, if I fall into this bracket of where I'm filing my tax returns and so forth, and this is how much I'm making, and then I'm getting a refund of this much, you can adjust those numbers so that you're not giving the government more money than what's needed, because that's all the refund is.
Now, when you say that, explain what you mean. I understand, but just for people that don't understand, when you say that's what a refund is, break that down for the viewers that's watching so they can understand what you mean when you say.
And our listeners.
And our listeners.
So,
and our listeners and our YouTube watchers. We all over the place.
So basically, when you receive a tax refund is pretty much the government stating and giving you money back that they withheld out of whether it be wages and so forth. So they're saying, we took too much, so here's the money back. However, it's in essence like a loan that the government has pretty much taken.
But I agree to loan them none of my money.
Exactly. So that's where planning and that type of stuff comes into. Because if you can plan it out correctly, it is actually almost better to owe the government. Because if you take a loan from any other institution or loan shark, right, what do they charge you? Interest. The government does not give you interest back. When you get a refund, they're not giving you any interest on the money that
Wait, say that again. You said it's better to owe them money?
Yeah, almost owe them money, yes.
And explain that for our listeners, because I'm dumbfounded right now.
Because if you went to a bank or you went to a mortgage company or even if you went to a loan shark, what happens? They charge you interest.
Right.
So the government basically loaned the government money, pretty much. Do they give you back interest when you get your refund?
No.
No, they just said, okay, we took too much. Here's your money back.
So they basically borrowing our money without our permission and saying, all right, and then they don't give you all the money they take. Look.
They hijacking our money and
you don't get no interest on it. There's no interest. There's nothing. It's just like, okay, sorry, took too much.
But if you owe the government and you don't pay them in a timely manner, they then do come after you for taxes and penalties.
Absolutely, because now the positions just switched.
So basically, instead of them taking your money and not giving you jack, owe them a couple $100, and that way you still.
And then they're going to charge you interest, and they're going to charge you penalties, and so forth. Correct. Because they're going to act like the next loan institution and so forth, where you owe us money.
Yeah, the rules don't apply in one way, but then they apply the other way.
Correct.
So I always heard pay yourself.
Pay yourself first. Yes, absolutely. Pay yourself first.
I'm gonna ask the question, Dart. You had one more, wasn't it one more, or did you cover all your
That was it.
All right, so now let's touch on this because this is something I'm sure that everybody is curious about. And I think me and you talked about this, Kim. Let's say I'm Jay-Z, right? And I'm gonna put Donald Trump out there also, right? Donald Trump paid $750 in taxes. Everybody got pissed off like, yo, what the heck, this and that. But when Jay-Z said on his song that my accountant is so good that I'm practically living tax-free, nobody caught it.
Mm-hmm.
You muted, Dart. So how is it that people with more money pay less taxes than people with a little bit of money?
It's called using the tax code and getting around certain systems. They're pretty much in the same position. Donald Trump and Jay-Z, similar positions. They have businesses to offset, like they'll create losses to offset the income that is actually coming in.
So basically what it is that's why all the people that's getting money always set up a nonprofit organization, right? So
that's where you have like the foundations and the nonprofits and all these doing the charity and giving away tons of money.
Right. And that's one of the major ways that they have less taxes, I guess, to pay, because when you make so much money, even for ourselves, I think that we don't even pay, a lot of us, not everybody, but I think a lot of us don't pay attention to when we make a certain amount of money that we go in certain tax brackets.
Correct. Yes. And that's just one avenue that, they use. So like when Trump like installed like and changed like the tax law and the tax code, I believe it was 2018. That's why it was such a huge deal, because basically, excuse my language, but he fucked over like pretty much a big part of the middle class. Because a lot of the middle class, they paying property taxes, they own their own home and they're paying the property taxes. He limited the taxes to do $10,000. That's nothing.
Right. So basically, I think what it is a lot of people need to pay attention to the tax laws.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why it was so huge for that year, and especially when he changed and he did that. It was crazy, because where you had people like, and pretty much, middle class people like being able to get like, low refund and that type of thing and kind of work out and still be okay. Now they're owing money and they're trying to figure out how the hell is this, how is that possible?
And far as like, I know earlier you said, which I think Darkchild still lost about it, if I know her, about the whole changing of the money, far as owing them instead of you owe, how you say it, owing them instead of them owing you.
Correct.
Right. Now, when you said that, is it possible that you can more so have donated to a 501c3 nonprofit organization and write that off to help you not even owe them, but to break even sometimes when it comes to money?
You can, however, that's where the flip side came with the tax law change.
Okay.
Because of the amount of the itemized like deductions.
Right.
A lot of people, it's almost like better to kind of get the standardized deductions.
Now, what's the difference? What's the difference for our viewers and listeners? What's the difference when you say standardized, and break that down so people understand what you mean?
So standardized pretty much is what the law sets, is pretty much saying, okay, well, if you're claiming yourself and then like another person, this is what we're going to give you as a deduction. And like, I think about $24,000 or something like that. With the itemized deductions, a lot of people were itemizing because of property taxes, charitable donations, the business write-offs, everything. So that amount usually would go above the standard deduction amount.
Right. So is it so?
The standard deduction amount is now like kind of, it's trumping the itemized deductions.
Say that again, Dart. We didn't hear you.
So you saying go above the standard deduction?
That's what usually would have happened in the past before the tax law change.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of people like were buying the real estate and doing all this, and like, yeah, that's what they were looking for, is the itemized deductions. Because it would always usually be higher than what the government is stating as, okay, this is what we're going to give you as a deduction.
So it's very important basically to know
these laws. One bank account, more than one? What's the deal with banks? Are they trustworthy now?
Banks have never been trustworthy. I'm sorry, that's just me in my personal opinion. They've never been.
You share your personal opinion.
That's right.
They've never been trustworthy. And it's clear to see, like, I think in 2008, when the whole housing market crashed, we basically bailed them out. Taxpayer bailed them out. and our tax dollars bailed them out. And we couldn't have them, you know, completely fail because of all of our money was there. But they didn't do right by us. What ended up happening, they just became a bigger entity.
Mute your phone, Dark, when you're not talking, because I can hear that whole conversation in the back. So basically, it's very like for people that do their own taxes, which is good because it's like nice to see people trying to do things. But if you don't know the tax laws and different tax things, do you recommend that people should still reach out to somebody with the knowledge of the
Yes, no, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And especially with this year and with the CARES Act coming in, because there's a lot of like small businesses and they had the PPP loans and so forth, and now like going into the PPP forgiveness of those loans, just in clients I'm dealing with, we're saying hold off on trying to ask for forgiveness of them. Wait until next year. But those are things like I think that it's a lot to read through and a lot to go through. So reaching out to, and not necessarily their bank and so forth, because the bank is going to be looking for the fee and kind of, you know, the money back, of course. But just reaching out to somebody who kind of is more aware of the law if they don't have the time to go through and read through everything.
Right.
It's definitely best to like reach out and just like ask around, or even if it's just, you know, a person that they know, like another person that, you know, small business owner as well, like, oh, well, what is your person telling you to do?
So are credit unions better?
No. I want to say as far as rates, yes. But as far as kind of with advice-wise, no. Because basically the banks are looking to get back their money. The amount that they have loaned out, they're looking to get that back.
Unmute yourself.
So basically the fees and the monthly maintenance is really where they're making their money off of. Because if I've got a bank account and I'm taking money, they're making fees off of that. And then they got this monthly maintenance fees. So that's where they're really making their money off of, right?
They do, but that's exactly what we're talking about as far as like the interest.
So they basically making a lot of the money off of the interest of different things as far as that.
Mm-hmm.
So question is I'm gonna take it to the left, which probably is a lot of people are wondering. Now you have all these people because of COVID-19 that was home that started businesses. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing. I recommend everybody start business, right? But at the same time, now next year,
you better hustle.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like I'm talking about
here and say that while he finishing his point, if COVID didn't do nothing to you, it better made you get a side hustle.
Absolutely. But I'm talking about this part though. Now COVID had us start businesses and everything. Everybody got loans and money and spent money and did this and hustled and bustled and did the things to start business. Which first I would like to give everybody applause for doing that. But next year, coming from an accountant point of view, the accountants, I think, are going to lose their mind.
We've already started to. Yeah, we've already started to, because there's nothing like formally within the laws that they've finalized yet. So even as trying to like plan and so forth to see and go forward for next year, we're up in the air.
Yeah, and I say that because sometimes we run and we do things, you know, because we need it. Everybody need money, need to feed their family. They know how to make soap now, so they went and made soap. They spent money, didn't keep receipts, this and that, made sales on the internet, did
And
bank account
everybody
transfer.
can cook, because everybody been out there trying to cook. And some of y'all daggone platters, and I'm going to say it, some of y'all damn platters is nastier than a mother.
Sounds like you got a bad one.
Look.
Dinner.
Well, you need some of that.
Y'all is salt hand heavy. Some of y'all don't know how to make mac and cheese. How you got mac and cheese with one cheese? Listen, that's a whole nother show.
But my thing is this, though. They spent all that money and everything and didn't keep track of their business records. So that's why I brought this up. So now is a lot of companies going to hurt? They hurt themselves, put it that way, by not doing things the right way, you know, and you can't answer this, but I'm sure I'll put it out there. Now the government basically could tap into these businesses and penalize them for not, you know, and close them down and hit them with different tax laws. You didn't do this. And it's like, it's going to be a madhouse in 2021.
Oh no, absolutely. And that's why it's almost like we encourage in saying like, keep track of everything, and hopefully with everything that has happened, because the money that has been coming in, like even to keep businesses open and so forth, has been through like the credit market. So there is that paper trail. But yeah, people have to be diligent. And at the same time, on the other hand, with the cash businesses, I mean,
I'll say, you can't say nothing like that. Yo, make sure y'all keep your books together. That cash is the cash, and keep it that way. Cash is definitely a good way to go when it comes to business.
Yeah, but I mean, just keep like, you know, keep as many records as possible. Because
keep your book.
The IRS was always going after. They were already going after like Schedule C type of businesses, people who are just working, you know, for themselves. They just have like the side and so forth, and not necessarily they have a tax ID number and all this other stuff.
Let me ask you a question. What prompts the government to go after you? Say for instance, you got somebody out there that was a DJ. He been DJ. What all of a sudden makes the government just start messing with him? He been DJing for 10 years.
Schedule C. That's all I have to like. If he's claiming all the money on his income tax return, that's the IRS. That's all they saw. They saw Schedule C businesses, and basically it's like, okay, we're going to start like targeting those and looking after those, because a lot of them are cash-based businesses.
But what if you didn't see it? What if they didn't see it? And what I mean by that is
they always see everything. Don't ever think that they don't see anything.
So he's been a DJ. He DJ Millie Rock, and he been DJing for the last 10 years. He always get paid cash. How they find?
And they coming after him?
How?
Somebody snitched on him.
No, it's a Schedule C. It's cash.
Look, Let me ask you something, Dark. And this is I'm just curious because I've been through something which I'll talk about in a minute. So did he claim losses on his taxes at the end of the year though?
No.
So he basically, when he did his taxes, he didn't do any. He has a tax number in it. He don't have anything. He just hands-on type boy.
Right.
Oh, somebody snitched then, because how you can't.
Yeah, because if it's not even on his tax returns, yeah.
That means somebody snitched, because ain't no way they can know. Tell me better. Watch who we be talking about that money to. Look, that's what. Yeah. That's the only way, because there's no other way. Now, if you did, I know a guy, right, that basically for 5 years kept doing losses because he kept receipts. More so kept, like if we all went out to eat, he kept that receipt, gas receipts, this receipt, that receipt. So when he went to go do his taxes, he might have lost $50,000, right? And say if he made $20,000. If you do that so much, the IRS gonna be like, hold up, dog, you just using your company as a shelter. So when you start doing that, that's when they start auditing, right, Kim?
Yes, and this like kind of circles back to how Trump and Jay-Z
are
able to do their things, because they'll show that, oh, they have other places that are making money, so they just offset against it.
Got you. So if he making 50 million at a club he owned, he might be having the record company that's losing 25 or 30 million because he got some whack artists.
And 60 million. And then you have a loss. Right. And then you can just carry that loss forward into other years. That's
so not to hurt nobody's feelings, for all my artists that's out here that's making music. It's always a chance, if your music sucks, that you could be a tax shelter artist. They need to lose money. So they might put your album out. It might flop, but you're still worth something to the company because they need to write that off. So
that's what I said. Like, Trump is never going to ever pay past what he's paying, because there was like even articles before, like, oh, he's bankrupt and all this other stuff. He's not. It's just basically he has so much losses. He's never going to pay tax ever. So the day he dies, he will never pay tax, because he will have so many losses to offset the income that he has coming in.
Wow. So what if you're someone who works and get a paycheck and it's a 1099?
Paycheck and 1099, two different things. So
well, that's not a paycheck, it's a 1099.
1099, so you're working as a contractor and you're responsible for paying your own taxes.
Okay. Some people need to know that, because some people get 1099 and don't understand that they have to pay taxes at the end of the year on that.
Yes, yeah.
Total life changes. Total life changes. All these people joining Total Life Changes don't realize that you're an independent company.
Contractor. And listen, I work in y'all know that I work in the mental health field. And a lot of the therapists and a lot of the behavior specialists, those people are, I want whoever's smoke alarm battery that is to know your life means more than that $2.99 battery.
Change your battery.
Change it. Or check your battery.
And that's a public service announcement to all of us out there. Change your batteries in the smoke alarm. No sense of losing lives over a $2.99 Duracell battery. You can go to the dollar store and get the cheap one. Right. Might not last but a week, but at least we know you'll be alive for another week. But they're private contractors. How you gotta know, you gotta do exceedingly to make that money balance.
And Not necessarily. There's ways around it.
I mean, they claim stuff like laundry, my home internet, if I went and bought a laptop, if I got a computer, the gas in my car. There's little itemizations that you can do to bring that down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot.
But there's also a lot more that you can bring it to a loss. And you can say, I didn't even earn anything.
Listen, I'm going to need to talk to you about not earning.
Believe it or not, Doc, it's a look. That's why I love this radio station.
Listen, because guess what? Everything gonna be a loss from now on.
It's a matter of reaching that line and like kind of finding that line. And that's what I almost like hate so much. When I see like pretty much like, for instance, like myself or even like my sister and so forth, because there are like so many deductions and there's so much that pretty much the rich are taking advantage of. And they do it every single day.
Wow.
For the common person, is there somewhere we should be reading or something that we should know to start familiarizing ourselves with some of the tax things that we can take off? Because let me just say, for instance, we know all CPAs are different. Some are very good and some are not. You can go to 2 CPAs, same year, same paperwork, and the refunds will be totally different. You might owe with one and you might get a small refund with the other. So we know that they're different. Where should we be looking?
I'm going to say avoid H&R Block and TurboTax and the Jackson Hewitt places. Look at the local CPA.
I think it's very important to build a relationship with a lawyer and an accountant.
Yes, absolutely. And like the local, like
yeah,
absolutely.
Those are the 2 things that's very important that people, especially now that everybody's starting their own business, don't be cheap. Trust me. It's not worth being cheap, trying to do things yourself, trying to go to Google and try to, research things. I think it's very important to build a relationship with somebody that you basically check with other people. Get referrals from other people that use people. You see people riding in Benzes and stuff and they got a business, you might want to ask them, yo, who's your accountant?
Yeah, and even just asking kind of the common questions and so forth of, oh, well, what did you think about this? You'll be surprised.
So you said avoid the Jackson Hewitts and what was the other one?
H&R Block.
You said avoid those places?
Yeah, because they pretty much like charge you
a lot of money.
Basically, and not something that can't be done even just on your own.
Okay. And let me announce that this is a disclaimer. These are our personal opinions, so don't anyone.
Yes, absolutely. Personal opinions completely.
Personal opinions. So there you have it.
Y'all call the station if y'all want. I ain't answering. Because if you got an 800 number, I'm ducking your asses anyway. So don't try to call us a door number. Straight up. But look, and I don't use y'all anyway. Never did.
but I just want to reiterate, it's about community. Like, talk to the next person and talk to the person, oh, well, how did you feel about this? Or so forth, or what was even just in a newspaper, or even just the whole, even Trump thing with the $750. Like, oh, what did you think about that? You'll be surprised how quickly
you'll learn something.
People, and they open up and they just start, it's like, oh, okay, well.
See, we have, as the people, we have a tendency to get mad and don't really focus on what we should be focused on. Everybody heard that $750. It was like, well, he rich. How the hell he do this, and that? Okay, you asked the question, but you didn't ask the question the right way. So when you heard him say 750, you should have said, damn, I need to know how to do this. What did he do?
How was it only $750 that you ended up paying?
Right. And when Jay-Z said he practically living tax-free, y'all was too busy listening to the beat instead of listening to the education that he was trying to give y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So yet we all know he's a billionaire. So how is he living tax-free? And some of us is making $60,000 and $70,000 a year. How can we do that we can basically utilize, certain things? And
how can we keep more of our money?
People think that because he's a millionaire that's why, and that's not the case. We do things every day. Simply D, you're an author. You buy pencils or you buy tablets, or you take time and you write and do different things. You download different writing apps that you might pay for. That's a tax write-off. That's business. Miss Darkchild go to comedy shows. She basically has the towel with her name on it for promoting herself. She do business cards. She, have her own mic. She has her hats and stuff like that. That's the tax write-off. You're doing different things to build your business.
Yeah.
So to my fellas, Mr. Fastlane and a couple of my high school people, now y'all know why when we go to Dave & Buster's and spend $300-400, I'll be like, yo, give me that receipt. I'll take that receipt.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the whole thing, because if anything, if you get audited and so forth, There's the record. Here's exactly what it was for.
So, and that's basically what it's all about. So for let's see, let me read some of these comments. Matter of fact, we're gonna take a quick break because we need to take a music break. So you are listening to Sadior Radio and you're watching us on Facebook. And if you miss any of this show, you can go to YouTube and search Sadior Radio and watch all the shows that's on Sadior Radio, the station that's more than music. We also got the podcasts up. This will be uploaded. So if you listen to any podcast, you can go to whatever streaming site you listen to your podcasts on, search Sadior Radio, and check out the show. And make sure you tell everybody to download the app, Sadior Radio. The station is more than music. Let me stop this. Boom.